Hello, my name's Tom Howard. I'm the founding attorney over at the Collateral Base. You can find me by Googling Collateral Base or Googling Tom Howard Attorney. You also then find that primarily I do cannabis law, and I'm also a cannabis consultant at Cannabis Industry Consultant or Cannabis Industry Advisor. Today we're going to be talking about specific performance and what it is and what it means. And specific performance is a cause of action that has to do with a breach of contract. A breach of, well, a contract. Let's start from there. Contract is what founded our country and what powers our economy. You make a deal with somebody else to do a thing for a price very often. Specific performance comes up when that thing that you promised to do or to deliver or to buy is unique in the sense that there is only one of them. Very often, specific performance comes up in real estate law. Why? Because there's only that one piece of real estate there. That house, while it might be very similar to another house in a Levittown, is unique. And specific performance, therefore, is available for sales of real estate. And that's different than other types of contracts. You see, the other types of contracts are, they could be substantially performed. They aren't as unique. And contracts are also what they call freely assignable, meaning that they can usually be subcontracted out. Anybody who's ever built anything has actually, through one contract, has actually had many contracts to compile that piece of whatever it was. Very often a building is the easiest one to imagine. But for example, I sell a consulting product for a very high sophisticated cannabis application. And so for that, substantial performance would mean that I have a robust and complete application submitted timely for my client. You know, if I substantially do those things, then I have discharged my duties under the contract. And that's what they say when they discharge a duty under a contract. It means that you have performed. Contracts, kind of like plays, are acts that you perform. And so specific performance is different than that. It doesn't require substantial compliance. You can't sell the house next to the person or a different Picasso. I wanted that specific Picasso. That was the one that I was buying. Then you can sue for specific performance, which requires very often whomever got cold feet, whether it's a buyer or a seller, to pony up and actually do their end of the bargain. You know, sell me that very unique house that Clark Gable owned, for example. And there's three things that will come up because you see a cause of action. You may not know this, but a cause of action is something that has elements, and you put it into a complaint. And those elements then need to be proven, in very often just by a preponderance of the evidence, and then you are entitled to the relief in which you have requested, and the courts, through their magic of laws, give you that remedy of which you have requested. So there's really just three things. Three elements. When I say things, I mean elements that an action for specific performance has, and they must be proven by that preponderance of an evidence before a court will award the specific performance for the sale of the real estate. For example, you need an existence of a valid, binding, and enforceable contract. There needs to be compliance by the plaintiff with the terms of the contract, or if they have been prevented from so performing, they have to be ready, willing, and able to perform. And finally, there's a failure of the defendant to perform its part of the contract. They didn't sell you that unique house that Clark Gable owned. So once you prove those things, provided, of course, that term is in your contract, then you will be awarded the house. The person will have to sell that to you. That may be appealed then, of course, and then they're going to need an appeal bond, which is sometimes pretty nice to be sitting on. They come up quite often. They come up very much in real estate. One of the reasons why they come up is because there's usually an attorney's fees clause in the contract for the sale of real estate. And attorneys like seeing those because in the American rule, you pay for your own attorney. And that's one of the reasons why they like to get those. But anyway, that was specific performance and what you need to do to be able to prove that. Once again, my name is Tom Howard. I am the founding attorney of the Collateral Base. Our hashtag is Good Problems. I don't really do much specific performance anymore. I've been involved in several of them. And if this whole cannabis thing doesn't work out, well, Again, maybe it actually might apply to cannabis and specific performance because the license itself is quite unique in the sense that there's only so many licenses. So if you have like an agreement to buy or to sell that particular area of a license ownership, perhaps, but I would have to look into it more maybe one day for those clients. And of course, you can visit us at collateralbase.com. If you like this, please do give us a like and subscribe. They do help this channel grow. Not that there's that many people in this channel. I'm mostly doing this for SEO purposes, and I'm going to go do another one right now about how to enforce judgments.